Hello, my name is Jay Siegmann and this is Pride on the Page, day 21, the nest I've never had. What it means to create safety when you've never truly known it. The prompt for day 21 of Pride on the Page was nest. Let your nest be made of scraps and stars, invite someone in. What does safety look like when you create it from the scratch? This prompt invites you to describe your own sanctuary, imperfect, handmade, radiant. Who gets to enter? What do you keep there? What do you leave at the door? And this is my contribution of this. And I will leave you here with the landscape that is now unfolding behind me. It's my southern Lower Saxony landscape and its rolling hills. And it is one of those few places here where I really get to have a view that spans more than 100 kilometers. From here I can see the highest hill in northern Germany, the Brocken, at almost 1,200 meters. That is about 3,900 feet. And the cartography of almost, pasture, landscape and the unbuilt nest. I have a big problem still with feeling safe, even in my own home, let alone in the country I live in the society I'm part of. Much of this is internalized and stems from being ostracized, bullied, mobbed and labeled over and over again, from not belonging to any group I was ever part of in Germany. At least never in a way that I felt unconditionally held and supported and loved. Yes, I remember moments when I have been loved, even unconditionally, few fleeting moments. Maybe some of them clouded by the throes of passion, by intimate togetherness, until life again intruded and brought us back to reality. 1. Entry point. The place I didn't flinch. Sri Lanka. 1 room, brass pot swinging. 45 minutes, where the air didn't betray me. I did not scan for exits. I forgot to remember pain. My breath stopped running from itself. It wasn't love, it was the absence of harm. Close enough. Side margin note, even the memory feels slippery. Did I really belong even then? I have felt what I express in German as verraten und verkauft. The very deep mistrust towards a person who you once trusted, a person you trusted unconditionally, unquestionably, and who turned against you as soon as it was convenient for them, or to bring forth their own agenda. And how used and exploited you feel afterwards. So dirty and cast away, like a dirty rug that's no longer needed. 2. In the clinic hallway where hugs are rationed like gold. 6 weekly vertebra check-in. Her arms around my spine say, yes, this exists. Yes, you, still you. Margin? Only hands that don't demand I return the gesture. Margin held means more when it doesn't want anything back. I have a true problem with describing what my safe haven, my nest, my one and only safe place looks like. Because frankly, I never had that place for longer than a fleeting moment. I had it lying in that Ayurvedic clinic in Sri Lanka on a massage table, getting a Shirodhara. I had it in moments with my late partner. I have it when my coach and friend gives me the one hug about every 6 to 8 weeks. I receive when we met and when we go. She is the only one consistently providing hugs in the past 5 years. Her office and the room of my Alexander Technic coach I usually see once a week. are the two single places in Germany where, for an hour or two, I am occasionally able to reach a felt inner safety that exceeds an 8 on a 1 to 10 scale. Never a 10 though. 3. Field data. Fascia surveillance. Town, tension. Birthplace, betrayal. Train, shifting threat gradient. Moor, loose jaw, soft hips, breath with options. Forest says, brace. Horizons say, maybe. So yes, I have experienced how it feels when my body finally feels safe. For 45 minutes and out of nearly 58 years. Well, more than nothing. 4. Test. I tried again. Affirmation, visualization, negotiation. Walked 200 feet in hometown. Back said, we've done this before. My spine carries more memories than my mind. And the rest of time, I was either completely dissociated or so dissociated that it not even registered that I did not feel safe. Because I did not feel anything at all. I had no self, no boundaries, no needs. Or I was finally, in the past 4.5 months, becoming more and more aware of just how unsafe I feel in my body and how very sensible and sensitive my body is, in fact, reacting to the changing surroundings. 5. Cautionary vow. I will not leave gagged by shame. I will not leave in anyone's pocket. I will not leave as a story you get to tell about me. Margin note, you've changed, yes? That's the point. Like when I'm sitting in a train and it's between stations, how it shifts when it stops and the people move and change in places and settles again and into a more restful rhythm. Or when I move through nature, how my body reacted when the landscape widens, when there is space. And how approaching people affect a shift of tension in my fascia. Or when I walk through a forest. 6. This is not nostalgia. This is inventory. This is fascia locating what belief once dulled. This is topography of tension overlaid with longing. Home is a sound I haven't heard yet. Not here, not yet, maybe never, still. I mark it. Side margin, footnoted, voice. Not a healing place. Never was. Too dense, too tight, too close. Many people experience forest as healing. For me, it is rather the opposite. I have found the more dense the forest, the more tension accumulates in my body, hindering my ability to move freely, because the fascia is tensing up more and more. And how it relaxes again? When the forest opens up onto a field like this, a hill like this, with a view. When we are perched on top of a cliff and can look out into the land, like now. Or what it does when I walk through a town. 7. Unfinished legend of this map. Square shape equals places I almost stayed. Round shape with an X equals places I disappeared. Double round shape equals places I exhaled. Three stars in a triangle shape equals the one who stayed with me anyway. Margin. You reading this or listening to it maybe and might be one of them. Yes, you. I have wondered why walking, not driving, around created back pain out of nowhere. When the same walking, let's say in a moor with vast views like this, into the landscape, does not create any of it. I tested it. I was afraid of walking along a stretch. Yes, I didn't trust myself any longer because of the developing back pain when I walk through towns, most especially my own birth town. Yet I can easily walk 4, 5, 6 kilometers in a moor, and yet not 200 feet in my birth town without getting almost crippling back pain. And no, in both cases, no people are around. And it is consistent. I tried it over and over, even with affirmation, visualization, with assurances toward myself, with telling me I'm safe and everything is fine. It does not change a thing. While exploring, I suddenly remembered all the times I was on a holiday with another person outside of Germany. My parents, Schul, a friend, my partner. And each and every time they commented, unisono sotto voce. You've changed. We don't even recognize you anymore. You behave completely different than you do at home. Footnote. Folding into the center, the nest is not a place, it is a short-term safety of being unnamed. Yeah, maybe. And that's when it trickled in. I have a problem with safety when I am in Germany. Yes, I can lower it by being in vast open spaces alone, like now. Yet, I live unfortunately in a landscape, as you can see, with many small hills, and this is one of the few places with a vast view to a very far horizon, about 150 kilometers away, with the Brocken in the very, very far place. Most of those hills are, as you can see, topped by forests. It is pretty, yes. Imagine, maybe the rolling Toscana hills in Lower Saxony, topped with mixed northern forests and very small towns and villages. Yes, some think it's pretty. End note, near blank space, I will leave like one who chooses their horizon. And yet it is not my landscape at all. Neither are big towns, at least not big German towns. I have always felt best in places, hotels, B&Bs, apartments, where my view dipped below the endless horizon, like in vast plains, mountaintops, ocean fronts. Soft voice again, places that never once called me back. Just let me be. 8. Return to the unbuilt nest. Maybe the nest is not built, yet it is gathered. It is the accumulation of places where my body said yes, of people who didn't make me prove my worth. It's not one room, it's a constellation of exits I choose. Not sanctuary by design, just absence of threat, felt fully. Side note. Maybe that's enough to start with. Maybe that's what buildings look like. Invitation. Shared anatomy. Where do you find your moments of absence of harm, even fleetingly? What textures remind your body it exists and that this too matters? What does your unbuilt nest look like, feel like? Not a fantasy of safety, but its actual pulse. Margin, this map never closes. Mark yours too. Thank you for helping me finding my nest. If you are building a life outside the blueprint, come to the Lookout like this. Upgrade to paid for grounded perspective, one-on-one guidance, and creative clarity shaped not by performance but by lived experience. I offer real-time consultations, editing support, and priority access. This is a working studio, not a pedestal. Become paid and let's shape what hasn't been said, therefore. A very, very special shout out to Marilee Pangman for being the Creative Lookout's first and so far only paying subscriber. I'm over the moon for this. Thank you, Marilee. And dear Pride on the Page creators. By now, I'm so in awe by your diverse, wonderful, layered stories of this creative challenge and what it has brought forward in stories, in poetry, in creativity. It is frankly blowing my mind away. Thank you, Diana Admire, Chris Winters, Jude, Lady Liberty, Leon Haywood, Tess McCarthy, Wendy Gordon, Lily Pond, Ray Somatics, Robin Taylor, Sunbeam Dream, Lee Summers, Bo Ea, Wilm, Matthias Ochoa, Darian, Janine Ewing, Cassandra Zielinski, Therese Rawlson, Laura Hayes, I Am Love, Louisa Haynes, Gloria Horton-Young, Francesca Bossert, Dawn Rowe, Andy Bass, Deborah T. Hewitt, Wayne T., Jules, Lisa Bolin, Mesa Farmer, Constellations in Her Bones, and Jessica Latanay. Thank you all. I cherish you.